Hey everyone, I'm Alex, and welcome to this Marvel Snap Beginner's Guide where I'm going to teach you the absolute fundamentals on how to play Marvel Snap. In this guide, I'll take you through everything you need to know from basic gameplay, how to actually progress your card collection, and most importantly, how to make the most of the shop. And after this video, I'll be linking to another video where we'll be discussing the best deck for new players, so be sure to watch the whole thing to get ready for that. Now, the first thing we need to talk about, I'm actually using the starter deck here. I'm a little late into pool 3, so using the starter deck is super disadvantageous to me. But what we're going to do is, this is what the layout looks like on mobile. We're recording on PC, so we're actually going to cut to a separate layout that helps you kind of see things a little better. We're going to play Quicksilver here. We're going to play him into Wakanda here. Now, there's a couple things you need to really understand about how Marvel Snap is played. The first thing you need to know is that you're playing for this Cosmic Cube. The Cosmic Cubes are essentially what you get for ranking, right? It is what tracks your rank points. Moreover, an important thing I think a lot of players miss as well is that this highlighted little border here indicates whose cards actually land first. A very important thing when you consider how initiative can play a role in how cards are played. As I said, I am playing the starter deck. This is what you'd start with as of recording anyway. And on turn 2, I have a couple options here. Each card has unique abilities. Sentinel, for instance, is able to add another Sentinel to my hand, which kind of keeps my hand full and able to allow me to play additional things. We'll throw Sentinel down here as well, and as you can see, the screen goes red when I'm running out of time. Kind of unique to Marvel Snap is the fact that both players play their turns at the exact same time. Moreover, you'll notice that there are 3 locations, one being revealed on each turn. Sinister Location, for instance, is actually really cool, because when you play a card here, it adds a copy to another location. You can kind of control which location it ends up on if, for instance, you fill this location and the only other location it can go is here. Wakanda prevents any cards from being destroyed, which is a kind of capability of many cards in the game. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to play Punisher into Sinister Location. He's a good card. What he allows us to do is he provides us with +1 power for each opposing card at the location, and considering I think that the opponent here is likely to play into Sinister Location as well, it's likely that Punisher is going to get a lot of additional value, as there will probably be lots of cards on the board. Now, playing the starter deck gives us a couple advantages. We have a lot of really good, just valuable cards. So what we're going to do here is we are on turn number 4. We have 4 energy. With each turn, we gain an additional energy. And so what we're going to do is we are going to play Cyclops here. And we're going to throw a value Hawkeye here. It's not the best play in the world, honestly. He's only a 1 power here. You know what, we'll play him, because now we're gonna have to depend on Sinister Location throwing a card there. But Star-Lord does come out, does pick up the fact that oh, he actually got rid of the Sinister Location, so that's advantages to him. So Scarlet Witch will actually change the location, so we can no longer utilize that now, which is fine, because we do have Hawkeye here, which means that if we play a card in this location, that card will receive +2 power. Now, thankfully, because we're playing the starter deck does not have that many, intrinsic abilities, but it does have a lot of big bodies, like Abomination, who is a 5 cost, so a 5 energy with 8 power. And what we want to do here is we want to win 2 of the 3 locations. That is the main point of Marvel Snap. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to play Abomination as a 5 cost right here. Actually, hold on a second. We do have +1 energy, so we can actually play the Hulk. It's a bit of a higher tempo play to play the Hulk. We do not have a play to play a 1 cost as well. So why don't we actually just play the Hulk here? He'll kind of secure our lane here. It'll make sure that we win, and we can actually probably play Abomination next turn into the Tinkerer's Workshop. So what we end up doing here, so he plays Odin, which is going to give Medusa an additional kind of reveal here. So Odin allows the on reveal cards to play an additional reveal. So Medusa on reveal gets additional +2 power if it's the middle location. So as you can see, she actually activated twice because of the Odin. So I have a couple options here. Realistically, because I want to win 2 of the 3 locations, I probably want to play into Tinkerer's Workshop. I also have the Punisher there, so if he plays more cards there, this card also ramps up. Now, because I think that I have a good chance of winning, I can snap. So if I retreat right now, I only lose 1 cube. If I follow through to the end of the turn, I actually lose 2 cubes or win 2 cubes. The stakes double. If I snap, I double the stakes even further, and now he's gone. So what just happened there is the opponent was waiting for me to snap to determine whether or not he wanted to play that next hand, because he wasn't entirely sure if he was going to win. He didn't have the advantage. I definitely won in Wakanda, and I had the advantage in Tinkerer's Workshop, and I didn't have to win here, so I was very unlikely to play there as well, although I could if I wanted to play mind games. So what I did there, and it was a perfect example, they didn't do anything, they just waited, and then the moment I snapped, he said, you know what, no, he's snapping, he's doubling the stakes. I don't think I can win here. I'm out. I'm cutting my losses. I'll give up my cubes and I'll go. It's a very important thing to understand about Marvel Snap, and something that I've learned over time while playing in the beta has been that one of the major things, one of the key points of skill in Marvel Snap is determining when to snap and when to retreat, because those are two kind of they're two methods of kind of improving your rank and saving your rank that is kind of unique to this particular game. So that is a gameplay example of Marvel Snap, and we just beat a guy using a beginner's deck, which is kind of funny, but that's great. Now this is actually going to give us another thing. When you actually collect your rewards after every single game, what happens is a couple things. You get your rank points increased, and you also get additional boosters. You get 6 boosters for every completed game. Sometimes it's less if someone like retreats on time on turn 1. And what happens is you utilize these boosters in order to actually upgrade your cards. And in this case, we'll upgrade the Punisher so that we can show you. So the Punisher is a 3-cost, 2-power card. We used it this game, and you'll see that we can actually upgrade the card. So what we do here is we see that the card is currently a rare card, so it actually has a 3D effect, and as you upgrade the cards, they gain effects. So here we can upgrade the card to Epic. We gain 4 collection level, and it costs us 20 boosters, which is here, so we have lots of boosters for this card, and it costs us 20 credits, which is one of the primary currencies of the game. So one thing I need to explain here before we do this is that the actual rarity of the card, all it does is it kind of improves the number of collection level you gain for upgrading the card. So let's do it. So we're going to upgrade the card. You're going to see the animation play out.
Animated.
So it's pretty awesome. So now from 3D, it's still 3D, but it gets an animated effect where, you know, you see kind of the muzzle flash kind of going off on the guns and stuff like that. The card has, it just looks better. And as you progress, the card looks better and better and better. But the most important thing is, especially for you, you're probably thinking, how do I actually progress my card collection? Well, you do it through your collection level, which is exactly what we just did here. So basically, as you just saw, because we upgraded the Punisher from rare to epic, we got 4 collection level, which means there's this collection level track that we move along as we kind of play the game. And there are a number of rewards. And the key thing to understand is you get cards for the rewards, you get credits for the rewards. And so you get boosters too. And boosters allow you to upgrade your cards even further. What happens as well is you get these collector's caches and collector's reserves, which have a multitude of different rewards. You can get credits from them, you can get gold from them, you can get cards from them, which is what you really want. So essentially, the way you earn cards in Marvel Snap is by increasing your collection level by upgrading your cards using boosters. And we're going to talk more about that in just a moment. As a brand new player to Marvel Snap, you're going to start at collection level 0, and as you progress through the collection levels, you'll unlock these cards. And what you'll notice here is you actually get credits and boosters all throughout the stages of increasing your collection level. It's also important to note is that you're actually guaranteed cards for the first little while, but as you progress, you start to actually not get cards, you get collector's caches, which have a 50% chance of getting cards, and then other rewards as well as credits, boosters, and gold. So it's important to know that you kind of get cards rather rapidly early on, but as you move through the pools, which I'll explain shortly, it starts to get a little harder to get the cards you want, which is both a benefit and a curse, because people are going to have different decks all the time. They're not guaranteed to have certain meta cards that they can use to kind of build the same net deck that everyone's using because of the way the pool system works. It's one of the benefits, but it's also disadvantages if you really want to play those meta decks, because you might not have the cards you need and you're kind of relying a little bit on RNG strategy as you move through collection level to actually kind of achieve the deck status and the cards that you want. Now, I'm going to talk about very quickly a couple things that actually really matter for your actual progression. There's a couple things you need to know. Now, first of all, they've updated the weekly challenges, so you can kind of just, as long as you beat 35 kind of quests at any point in time, you complete your weekly challenge, and you get a ton of rewards for doing so. 500 credits is significant. 100 gold is significant as well, and the season pass experience is great too, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But basically, when you complete quests, which are relatively straightforward, like, I gotta give the team credit. They have not made this game so that the quests force you to play like super suboptimal cards or anything like that. They're generally like, if you're playing the game, you're finishing the quests, right? Like, win a location with 4 cards, play 6 cost cards, win with only 1 card, play 1 cost cards. Like, just by playing the game, you're finishing those locations, these quests. And when you hand in these quests, you get credits, you get season pass experience, and you also make progress towards your weekly challenge. And that's important because I'm going to talk about these currencies and what they're valuable for. So first of all, let's go to the store. So what you're going to see here is that you have credits and you have gold. There's a couple things you really need to know as a player here. First of all is that you have daily offers, and they provide you with something called a variant. So variants are kind of alternate art for cards that you can use. So basically you spend gold, 750, which is not an insignificant amount of gold. It's about like $10 to $15 depending on where you are in the world with the exchange rates and stuff like that. But essentially it is a variant of the card art for whatever card you might want. So Carnage or Onslaught or whatever it might be. And you can then use that card or that variant and upgrade it through the levels and progress your collection level. You'll only ever get cards here as of recording that you currently own. So there's no way to, like, you know, oh, Venom, I don't have Venom yet, I'll buy the variant so now I can add Venom to my deck. It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, if you do not own Venom, it won't come up in this part of the shop. Moreover, you have the fast upgrade section. This is the biggest bait for new players. Do not ever utilize this section because as of recording, it is hot garbage. Basically, what you do here is you essentially pay credits to buy boosters for cards so you can upgrade them. The problem is it's so cost inefficient. You actually pay a bit of a penalty for using the fast upgrade system as it is, and you're also paying for boosters, which you get for free by playing the damn game. So it's very important to understand that if you start, like, at first you're like, you know what? Sure, I'll upgrade Viper for 50 credits. Who cares, right? But if you just play the deck with Viper in it, like, eventually you get those boosters and you can be much more kind of like, you can preserve your credits because this currency is super valuable because you have to, like, you only get 50 free credits per day. Yes, you get some through your quests and through the season pass and stuff like that. Like, they're actually pretty good with the credits. But if you run out of credits, which you will, if you play this game a lot, you're gonna have so many boosters that, like, all you do is play and you get boosters for free. But you don't get credits just for free. Like, you actually kind of get tapped out eventually. So these credits are super valuable. You don't want to just waste your money on these fast upgrades. Just never use this section because credits are a valuable commodity. And as you can see, the gold themselves are pretty expensive as well. So, you know, you want to conserve what you're spending. So do not ever use this fast upgrade system. In fact, the best way to use your gold, if you happen to get it, is to refill your missions. The reason for this is because when you refill missions, you're paying 120 gold, you're getting 2 additional missions, 1 standard mission and 1 hard mission. And as you can see, together they're worth about 150 credits. 50 for a standard one, 100 for the hard one. You also get 25 and 50 season pass credits per mission respectively. So it's very important that you consider that, you know, as you complete your season pass, which, by the way, if you are going to spend money, the season pass for like the 12 to 15 bucks depending on your exchange rate is actually kind of valuable. Like, you get a lot of credits, you get some gold throughout. Like, it actually provides you with some value. So if you're going to spend any money, the season pass seems to be the best way to do it. But, you know, again, that is completely up to you. But the key thing here is that you really want to spend your gold on refilling the missions because it gets you the most value overall. And never, ever, ever spend money on the fast upgrade system because you get boosters for free just by playing. When scrolling through your collection, you'll notice that some cards will have this kind of green effect on them. This means that these cards can be upgraded via your boosters. So you have enough boosters, you have enough credits, and you can upgrade them, which is great. Now you'll notice a couple things here, and I'm picking Daredevil intentionally because it's going to provide you with a good example of how infinite splitting works. That is a process of basically getting your card to max level and then creating a new variant of it. So basically the way it works here, and again, we're going to progress our collection level by upgrading our card, and we get a collector's reserve. So again, we can get a new card here, we can get gold, boosters, credits. I mean, the boosters feel really bad, but you know, you get whatever you want. So we got 400 credits here, which is actually pretty significant. You know, I'll take that honestly. So we got 400 credits from the collector's reserve, and now we go back here and we can continue upgrading. But what you'll notice here is we have this Daredevil variant, which we have fully upgraded to infinite. Once at infinite, we're able to split this Daredevil into an additional variant. And what we did was we split it and we get a new kind of randomly generated custom holographic background that we can then use once again to upgrade the card over and over. And what's interesting is that these backgrounds are kind of randomly generated. And for instance, let's take a look at the Medusa one. It's a little similar. It has that hexagonal pattern in the background as with Daredevil. But if we go to one of my favorite cards in the game, Angela, where's Angela? Where's Angela? Here she is. You'll note that this is the base card for Angela, but she got a really cool holographic effect with the original art, which was randomly generated, which I absolutely love. Like, I might not ever upgrade this card again. Like, I absolutely love the way it looks. So, you know, there's a lot of real cool opportunities because once you infinite split your card, you get to max it out again. So it's really neat the way that you can continue your collection level, but be aware that you will run out of credits rather rapidly. So it's important you kind of like, again, conserve your credits and be smart with the way you use them and avoid the fast upgrade in the shop. Marvel Snap is a card game, and with all card games, it's really important you understand how the collection system works. And Snap News did a really good job making this really awesome diagram to help you understand which cards are available in which pools. And as of recording, we currently have 3 pools of cards with a 4th one on the way. So let me explain how this works. So eventually, this is pool number 1. And the way it works is that between collection levels 0 and 214, you are guaranteed to get these cards in random order. So you might want one of the cards, but until you get to level 215, you might not actually acquire it because it's completely random which card you get. With that being said, once you hit the collection level 215, you're guaranteed to have all of these cards in this pool. That's how the system works. And then moving on to pool number 2, it is a little smaller, which is nice because the random element of it is, well, guess what? From 222 to 450, again, it's a bit of a longer stretch of collection levels because now they start to add credits and boosters and stuff through the collection level process. But now you have a smaller number of cards that are randomly kind of given to you as you go throughout the process of earning your cards. The biggest complaint for most players that have been playing Marvel Snap in the closed beta has been that the pool 3 is a little massive, and it's a really big pool. And unfortunately, there is a ton of RNG as to which cards you get, and the collection levels become increasingly more difficult to acquire because, I shouldn't say that, the collection levels don't get more difficult, but the card is actually, so the collection reserves get spread out over a longer distance. So you actually get fewer opportunities to unlock additional cards with more levels. So it becomes more difficult to unlock more cards, and you have to rely on the RNG when you open those crates. So you have a massive collection of cards. It starts at around 462-ish. It changes slightly as like for instance, season pass cards get added to the pool and stuff like that. But anyways, it's a huge collection of cards, and it's completely random which ones you get. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be frustrated with this, but this also means that, like, you can kind of depend on your opponent not having the perfect net deck all the time, just like you don't have the perfect net deck all the time. So it actually kind of keeps the game a little fresh, and each individual game doesn't feel as samey as some other card games where people just kind of craft the right cards from the top YouTubers and whatever, and then they just play that deck for eternity until they get the rank they want, right? So there's a lot of variance in this game, and that could be a good thing for many people. But now that is how the pool system works in Marvel Snap. I hope you like this Marvel Snap beginner's guide. I'm going to be doing tons of content on Marvel Snap, so I would appreciate your support. If you like the video, you know, hit the like button, and it's all YouTube cares about, honestly. And you've got to check out this next video, because honestly, this is one of the most important videos you can watch. If you're new to Marvel Snap, it is going to make this game so much easier to play, because especially if you're starting, you got to know what to play. Thank you so much for watching, and a very special thank you to all of our wonderful subscribers. We'll see you in the next Marvel Snap video.